What's up guys, it's Selka, and today I'll be breaking down the top 30 market cap coin. So it goes from Bitcoin to Crow, and we're going to be looking at the 4-hour chart and more. So it will be more of a mid-term, long-term trading. And I'll tell you at the end which one looks the cleanest, so on which one I would invest if I was trying to be as safe as possible, but doing as much profit as possible too. So we're going to be looking at this in this video. So with that being said, let's get into it. So for Bitcoin, I'll cover a little bit this smaller time frame, but we're most likely there for the bigger one, since this video is about all the different top 30 market cap that we have on crypto and how they will perform in the long term. So if there's any clean structure right there, I'll tell you at the end of the video. But for Bitcoin, just quickly we go on the smaller time frame just to make sure you guys understand what's going on right there. But to me, this piece is still exactly what I expected from the last weekly analysis. So I told you guys that this was an A move, and I was waiting for a B wave, so most likely for a regular flat that won't break the top, and then come back for that C wave, and this becomes an ABC for another push up. So I was expecting this. Obviously we cannot know if it's going to be a running flat or a regular flat. So the first guess I always make is that regular flat, because we see this often, but now we can see right there running flat. So there's potential running flat that are possible, and that's why sometimes it's between regular flat and running flat. So you cannot predict the running flat because it's a step ahead from the regular. Since if you expect the top to be broken every time, you'll most likely lose trades simply because on a regular flat it doesn't break it. But if you expect a regular flat every time, you will not lose as much trade as if you expect a running flat, because you won't be you simply won't be in the buy right there, but you will take the buy later on for the running flat, compared to the regular flat where you take the buy from the bottom if it happens. So basically you get a better entry most of the time by aiming for a regular flat. So that's the case. That's why I always draw a regular flat and not a running flat on my correction when we are on the first step, which is the A move. But from that point, it's exactly the same. This is an A move, and now we're not going for the regular flat. We're going for the running flat. Okay, so you have the corrective pattern at the top right corner to help you out. But if this is your A move and the B wave came and broke the top, that means that you're automatically going for either running flat or expanding flat. Now we know that running flat is the one that happens most of the time compared to the expanding. So that's why this should, after ranging quite some time right there, come back up, break this top, come back down, make a running flat right there, and go back up. So I'll remove those two lines just so you can clearly see. Then this will be something like this before going up. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. And what I'll be trading right there, what piece I'll be trading, probably a buy if I get a buy near this zone, probably a sell if I get one near this zone, and probably a buy if I get one near this zone. But this will be the most important one. The sell is not mandatory. This one is probably the worst to take, the most dangerous, but this one will be the best to take. All right, so basically why I do expect the small corrective structure from now, it's simply because you've got this impulse and this is a smaller A, right? And smaller A often comes with a smaller B, which comes with a smaller C, and this whole three wave of smaller letter are the B wave of your bigger structure. So the B wave of this A move will be the combine of these three moves, and that's why you get the C wave and then go up. So it's almost like I say something right there. You see it went A, B, C in three waves, then you drop a drop and you go up because of that impulse. So classic, the B wave is always the most corrective wave, and sometimes your B wave is made of an impulse, a correction, and an impulse. So basically I'm expecting right there I'm expecting a correction that will be bigger than this one. All right, so something that will range, it can be a regular flat, all right, or a running flat. It doesn't matter. So if that's a running flat, you'll see it do something like this. It doesn't really matter. That's what we're gonna be aware of, but it doesn't really matter. So that's for the smaller time frame. I think I covered it. And since we broke that top, now there is really not much chance to come and retest this low. So this was your bottom right there. I don't think we're gonna come and break it back unless we get an expanding, but it's not that much probable. So let's go for a correction. All right, so let's go for a correction, in that case something like this, and then another push up before having a bigger correction. So we'll probably have a bigger correction depending on what's been going on there, but we'll see it. So for Bitcoin, it's upside, totally upside for the B wave that we've been waiting for in the bigger structure. So now we're getting into the direction. We're just starting this rally up, and that's the time to do such a video, as we will be looking for those other coins. But yeah, this is going to go up, and then later on we'll see if we have this C wave, or if this B wave will be a running flat which comes and break the top for another C wave, or even a contracting flat. It's too early to say, alright, but we'll get to see it, and that's the goal. So now just aim for upside. There is no price target, and wait, follow those small correction, wait for them, and see until you get that one that come and break the previous one. Then we'll starting to see this as a downside move, but for now just ride this upside, and I'll be making weekly analysis to let you know about my thoughts about this Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin's going up, pretty safe asset to invest in for the midterm. Now Ethereum, the structure is the same. We've been waiting for this correction to be done and expecting another up move to come and break the top, and we're about to do that. So Ethereum, there's still around 20% to come and get until that target. So it's still 20%, right? So I think we're gonna break it in the next months, the 2K we should. And after that, this is where it's going to be kind of dangerous, because if you get a drop and a correction, then it could go for another drop, breaking that low before going up. Now, knowing that Bitcoin is still on a rally upside, I do think that we're going to break the top and make a correction to go further up. So the one I'm currently following to see if how it goes when it ranges and comes for another push up to just extend this wave is XMR right now, but we'll get into it. It's exactly in the same structure as Ethereum, but this one has already broken the top, and we've got that potential 3-wave correction for another push up. So I'm following XMR to give me a thoughts about Ethereum, and you should do the same. These are the same structure, but XMR is a little bit ahead of it, so we'll get into it later. But for Ethereum, I think we're going upside. So let me just go back to Ethereum. I think we're going upside, alright, like I said right there, and we'll see if we get a flag or not to come for another push up. But to me, this is most likely going to be a B wave, another C wave right there to complete this flat, and then come back up. Something like this feels accurate to me. Now the B wave doesn't need to be like this, but something like this makes sense. So there's still quite some gains to make off Ethereum, and it's pretty safe, as you know. Now BNB, there's a chance that this is a regular flat that is done, so ABC. Alright, if that's the case, then this will probably flag a little bit more right there, then come back up, retest the top. It should be an impulsive move, something like this, right? Now it started pretty ranging, and this is often a correction for a drop. Alright, so that's the thing I don't like about this structure, is that this piece right there, so let's just focus on the wave for a second. This piece could be an ABC, alright, and if that's the case, then this should come back and retest the low. Now it could be making just simply another ABC right there for this drop this time, which will lead to another drop, and this drop will come and break the low because you've got this drop before. So it can basically, and let me show it quickly, range right there, make another top, break that top, and then drop to break that low. Alright, so you'll have this ABC right there with another impulse afterwards, another ABC, another impulse, and this will complete, this will match, this whole 3-piece move will match that impulse right there, right? That 3-piece impulse too. So you get it, this can still go down. Now what I want to see to avoid this is a range that will quite be above. If that's above this top, it's better. If that's right now, it should be a flag. So it's not a range that comes deep, just more of a flag, and this could come and start to break the top. But we most likely need to break this one and range above this one too, but let's just focus on that one and then this one later on. But I want to see this this confirmation that we're going up, and most likely it will be something like this, right? So BNB, be careful. Even though that this structure is super clean, we can't reach the top at any moment, so just be careful and follow it. Now XRP, this one is quite low, to be honest. I think right there, this could all be a correction. All right, at some point it could be a correction. Now I don't think it is, because you see that impulse made a change on the structure, so you might have this right there, which is an A move, this right there, which is a B move, and this could go something like this for a C wave. All right, so this might go up and break the top, but afterwards impossible to tell if this is going to drop without having a flag and without being in this zone to tell if there's a flag or not. So let's just aim for this move. I think XRP in the bigger structure is most likely going up. All right, I think this move comes from something like this, so this should come up and retest the top before dropping, but it doesn't need to be right now. It can still do something like this, goes like this, and then goes like this. So that's why taking profit right there could be interesting as a structure to make maybe a 2x or something, but after this, so it won't be the best option to come and aim for that top. I don't think it will happen. So XRP, you got it. Now ADA, this one is actually right there losing in momentum, but there's actually potential. Is there a potential running? I don't think there's a potential running. I would aim for a B wave, right, in the bigger structure. So this is definitely going upside. You're super low in the structure. This is a well-known crypto, even though it's mostly hated, but this is still a well-known crypto. I think aiming for the B wave is safe. You're most likely losing in momentum with a structure looking like this, right? When it does something like this, then you're losing in momentum. Now I don't think you have the confirmation that you're going up, so I'm not surprised if we get a spike up. I mean, people have not been talking about ADA for a long time, but we'll see it in the structure. There's a running flat right there, but potentially, if I see it correctly, yeah, there's definitely a structure that could lead, but that already led to a new top. Now from that point, let's see the reaction. If it flags, and that's what I want to see, I want to see a flag, a correction for this whole impulse, then this will be a good opportunity to be in the B wave. So I would not buy some ADA at this price. I would wait for that flag to happen before buying, and knowing that the direction is upside for a B wave. So around this zone, it should be the target, so to reach around this zone before taking profits. But if you have a situation to take profit before getting into that zone, you should. It's just what you should be aiming for, this ABC pattern that we're going in. So ADA looks pretty bullish, but I want to see that flag, otherwise it's not the best setup. Alright, so Matic, this one, just like BNB, super similar, but it's actually, I think, better. So Matic, just reminder, this could be an expanding to come and retest the top. So ABC expanding, this will come and break the top. Now it doesn't need to if you're in the B wave, which is super possible. Seeing how this move is looking like a correction, you can be stuck in something like this, make it drop, go back up, complete a running flat right there, right, with this top, with this it being a correction. So ABC running flat, then another up, and this completes your B wave, which will lead to another drop before going up, right? So it can be something like this if that's not an expanding. So if that's a regular flat right there, this ABC, which could be, but not that much. What it's one of those scenarios, but it's not super clean. But either way, it could be it. Right there, that you have this as an A move, this as your B wave, this as a C wave before going up. But aiming for that top is pretty risky. That's why I would not aim for the top. I think the move is already gone. This is not a good crypto to invest in right now. You should have done it in this flag, which was the perfect opportunity. Maybe right there if you have some setup in the smaller time frame, but actually this is too late. I think this will do that. But if you see a drop and break the low, then it's perfect. Actually it's perfect, but we'll have to see it, and we'll get to see it as I'm doing these on the weekly analysis. But for Doge, yeah, Doge, this one I'm expecting the B wave also, but I do see right there a potential to see this move breaking the top. Alright, if that's an ABC right there, since it broke right there, if that's an ABC, we'll see it break the top, and this being a B wave that is kind of clean. So A wave, B wave, and C wave to come and break the top. So I think Doge could do that. Now if it keeps ranging right there, so if it keeps ranging like this, for example, then expect a drop before having an up move. So that's the thing with Doge. I think this has a lot of potential, especially with all this stuff going on with Elon Musk and Twitter. So if Doge happens to be a crypto that you can use off Twitter, for example, and pay out your verified check, so something like this, it could pretty much bump at any moment, just like it did back in October. But for example, I would like to see either this correction, like I said, being completed before going up, or this setup giving us this up move. So after that up, now it will be different, because after you wait for a flag to go further up. But getting in that trade right there, Doge has a lot of potential, and it's a good price, I think. So definitely one of the best one. Sol, this one is clean also, so let me remove that. This Sol is pretty clean, I think. This structure could be a, but I'll take this structure as a B wave since you broke that. There's an expanding that is possible. Now we're not gonna aim for that. At least I'm not. I'm aiming for something like this, another correction. It will be a perfect opportunity for Solana. I think this is pretty undervalued at the moment, especially looking at this chart, and the B wave could be super interesting. So Solana looks good for spot trading. Dot, this one has a potential expanding. It could actually be an expanding. This one is looking better as an expanding than Matic, but it is pretty huge as an expanding. This is a lot. If it comes and retests the top, it will be a lot of gains, but I would be really surprised to see it goes with an impulse, unless you have really a big news, and even that it should not. So a slow move up, a slow and steady move up, either for a B wave of a running flat, so it comes and breaks the top with a slow move, or a B wave of a regular flat. It should be your target. Definitely this is going to be a B wave. I see it as a B wave, but aiming the top is risky. Stills, I think it's a good opportunity to buy some dots, even though there's a running flat right there that is possible. You gotta be careful of it. This right there to break the low one more time before going up. I think it's a fair price, especially if you get a correction. Alright, so most of those I'll be waiting for a correction. Even if you're investing for the long term, the correction you get helps you out timing your entry, but you can always DCA, so buy a little right there, right there, right there, if you don't want to be focusing on your entry, perfect entry. But for DCA, as long as you reach the target you're looking for, it's worth it. You just gotta aim for the right projects and look for fundamentals, because this chart and the structure is not enough to see the long term, at least in most of those crypto. So that's definitely a one that I'd be looking for. Litecoin, Alright, so this one is interesting. Alright, AB, this is potentially a running flat. Alright, if that's the case, flag, this is a perfect opportunity to come and retest the top, and it's clearly possible. This running flat is clearly possible, and I do believe it will happen. Actually, seeing this, I do believe this should happen. I think it's the cleanest one probably in the long term. Litecoin, if it flags, this one is clean to come and retest the top. For X4, I think you make X4 on that one, and it will take quite some time. It's not, it can be an impulse looking like this, but it will not be in these conditions. So look for a flag, and if it happens, DC in this zone, this is definitely the right place to buy, and aim for that top for the running flat. But you can be safe and aim for that B wave, right, if it's not a running flat for some reason, but it's fair to be aiming for the running flat of that structure. So I think it's the cleanest from now. SHIB, sorry for that. SHIB is, do I have all the data? I think I do. For SHIB, I'm expecting a B wave, right? And first of all, I'm expecting this up move to come and retest the top. Alright, and now this up move can turn out to be a B wave. So SHIB is a good one to buy also. Now it's a little bit, probably it went a little bit up from the bottom in the last days, but it can still go up. So DC in this zone is definitely a move to do. Now I don't see any W or things like this. The only thing I see is either a regular flat right there for downside, or a regular flat, or at any case it will be a regular flat to come and retest this top, but either to come and range after retesting this top or to drop straight up. So that's why never invest all your money in the same spot, alright, especially for long term. Try to get more entry as possible, and lower your risk. So for SHIB, kind of good for the B wave, right, just like the others, a B wave, but I would not say the cleanest one. So we're trying to find the crypto that has the cleanest setup to come for a B wave, so the cleanest setup to do the B wave as soon as possible. So that's a little bit the goal. This one went quite up on 2017, I didn't see it, but yeah, this one right there definitely doing a correction for that impulse, which I think it's fair. Now your next impulse should come and retest the top. Alright, I don't know when it will happen, but it should. Before that, you kind of have a running flat that is possible. So I don't know if it has done it right there, but let's say it didn't, so we are safe right there. But this could go up, make that running flat, go back down before going up. So I would not be surprised if we get something like this. It's still 50%, near 50% to get that running flat. So potential upside that we got. I would like to see a range on this one to enter in. And for the midterm, I don't really know a lot about the project, but you can definitely wait for this to happen and get in right now, get in a little later, and if it drops, you get back in. Of course, if it flags, you get in, just to have a better entry. But the goal should be to come and retest the top in the midterm. All right, so kind of good one. AVAX reminds me of Solana. Get that B wave, then the C wave before going up, and it's a good point to do so. Just wait for the flag. That's a good entry, alright, even though the move already started. That's a good entry, knowing that the Bitcoin will be going for that B wave, the B wave in the next weeks. So it's a kind of good asset to go in. Now I'd like to see this correction to be done right there before going up, would be dope. So you see right there, this is exactly what I mean by ABC. This is what you want your B wave and your C wave to get the better trade, the best move, which is the impulse that comes after the correction, and that's the move that you should be wanting to go in. So for something like this, it will be this impulse. Uniswap, this one is definitely coming and retesting the top. Great trade in the smaller time frame, super nice setup. If that's a running flat, it will give a flag and retest the top straight up. This should be an ABC right there, and then wait if it's a correction for upside or if it's going to dump. We cannot know, but that's a great trade setup in the mid-term, short term also, but in the mid-long term, it's a B wave that I'm looking for. So something that range and goes up, alright, before having another drop and then an up move. So I'm looking for that slow move up, and it's probably already doing it, so that's kind of cool. Cosmos Atom, this is exactly the same thing as Uniswap. Come up, retest this top. The setup is okay to try it out. I think it's a good setup. If you get buy setup, it's a good opportunity because we should be retesting this top. Now after that, I'm expecting a push up, further up near that top, then a drop, and then go back up. So they all kind of look the same, to be honest, but we're trying to find the one that looks different and that could be doing that B wave or that impulse sooner. And it's definitely not Link, in my opinion. This one is probably the one that looks the most bearish right there. Sorry, so this one should complete this range for another push down. Alright, most of the time it should be something like this, unless you see it completely spike up and correction and give a correction, or just or if it completely spike up and give a correction, then it should be upside, but seeing it right there looks downside. Alright, that's not the cleanest one at all. Maybe if the fundamentals are still good and you believe in the project, then this is the right time to invest in. Right there some, and if it drops, right there some. But overall, this structure is not looking like it will go up any sooner. Leo, this one is okay. All right, this structure is different. I like to see that. Now this one is an A move, and we're looking for the B move. So the structure is different, but it's still the same wave that I'm looking for. So basically, this is probably your first retracement for all that impulse, and you want that B wave that will go up slowly, maybe breaking this top or not, and then coming back down before going for your real impulse. So this one is okay. I think you're getting, once you have this end of a structure, you'll start accumulating those. So if it keeps ranging a little bit like this, then you'll start buying some right there, until you get that B wave, which is where you start taking profit near this top in the same type of structure. So if you get in knowing that it's crawling down, then you should get out when it's crawling down. You see, something like this. This is where you get out before a drop. So Leo is okay. I like it. It's not completed. I think you still have time to see if it will keep dropping, but definitely want to look for it. Now this is Ethereum Classic. This one is clean, to be honest. I think you have chance that you completed this running flat right there, and if that's the case, this is all the correction for this impulse, which this setup should lead to another impulse and retest the top. I really do think it's the case. Definitely one of the cleanest right there. If that's the case, for real, you're going to get a 2x of that. So I didn't know about this Ethereum Classic. Definitely looking good in the smaller time frame. You get this potential running. I think this one is super clean, to be honest. I do see this one breaking the top. Probably the cleanest run right now. This setup was perfect to take this up move, but now this setup might be perfect to take this second up move, right? So this one is super clean. I'll look into that one. I might take the trade if I get a setup for that one. Looks pretty legit. OKB, oh, alright, this one is already gone, and this is exactly, guys, this is an example of what we're looking for, what I am looking for: a drop, a slow move up, then another drop before your next impulse. You see exactly what I've been drawing in all these coins previously, before OKB, exactly the same pattern, and we're all in this A move starting this B wave. We're somewhere right there in all the assets that I've shown. I'm waiting for correction, up move, correction, up move. At some point this will come back down, breaking the low or not, depending if that's a contracting or a regular flat, as well as breaking the top with the B wave or not, depending if that's an expanding or a running flat, a regular flat or a running flat. But in all case, this will complete your ABC 3-wave correction before having the next impulse, and this was perfect. So this, congrats to those who found that about this project and took the trade. I think it's an exchange, China exchange, so a good one. For the setup, I think you've had some small setup in intern. All right, let me draw it. So either that's running flat right there, or just that bigger one right there. Even though it's not the cleanest, the best setup was there. This one is okay, but this is the best setup. And yeah, this one was hella clean. So good trade, and it's exactly what we're looking for. So let me just do that. Is it forecast? No. Let me just do bars pattern, copy this, as we will have it to copy to paste it on the other coins to see where we in the chart. For XMR, this one, I think you're in a correction for that impulse right there. When this correction will be done, you'll get another up move to break the top. So the goal is to break the top. And now this is a correction. This is a correction. You can have you can extend your correction. Sorry, it's possible to extend your correction, but I think if you keep ranging like this, you need a range. So if you don't spike up any sooner, if you keep ranging like this, this will come back down. All right, if it keeps ranging. But if you get a spike soon and a flag, all right, something like this will tell us that we're going up. Basically that's it, because as of right now you get this regular flat that can and break the top one more time, and as long as you have this pattern, as long as it's ranging between those bottoms and lows, then this should come and retest the low. So we want a spike to come above those top range, then this gives you gives us a clue that we're going up. So XMR was clean. Now it is not that clean. It's more looking like it's bearish, especially with that drop. But in intern, in the smaller time frame, I do see a potential regular flat, even though it's not super clean. So sorry, this one, ABC, it's clean. You should be looking for buys, but seeing what it's making right there tells me that we might be going down, and this drop could be either for another push before having an up move, if that's still a corrective pattern. But if not, this is most likely an impulse pattern that will be the impulse for that impulse right there to complete this 3-wave correction. So A, B, C. So that's the thing. Sometimes smaller correction in smaller time frame leads the bigger structure, but sometimes it gets invalidate with a corrective pattern. For example, this one that tells us that it is going for the bigger one and not the small regular flat that you thought. So basically we can be giving a correction right there, especially with that trend line. People are trading those trend lines, so that trend line ranging under this could be a setup for another drop, and this can even break that low, right? But keep in mind that you should be still looking for buys until you get this range completed, and the range is almost completed, so I would not take a buy of that, but I'm still thinking that the buy is possible as long as you don't see it quite ranging for quite some time. So something like this, you know. But yeah, now Tron, this could be a nice trade. I hope it's not a contracting like this. If that's the case, you'll see it pump and break the top, but I really do hope it comes back down, complete this flat, and then goes back up. All right, so that's the goal. It can happen. I do think it can happen, but we'll see it. If it drops, completes a regular flat, like I said, ABC, then it's perfect to take the trade for that. So I'll be looking for that. BCH, this one. This one is this drop, this up move probably with this one as a running flat, break the low, new structure, up move, correction, up move, correction. We're waiting for it, then up move, but in the bigger structure. And I need to go in the weekly to see this, if we broke the low or not. We didn't break the low, so look for a correction for all that drop. So a correction, this should also be a blue wave. So it's not the cleanest one, the structure looks ugly, especially coming from the top. I really don't like this one, so I'll not waste any more time on this one, but you still be looking for a correction at least bigger than this one. So I kind of draw them looking like it take a long time, but it need just to be at least bigger than this one. But at best it will be a bigger correction, but you see at least bigger than this one. And a reminder that sometimes you can have an impulse, correction, impulse, just like we had an XMR. We are looking for Ethereum, all these different patterns we get. Sometimes the impulse can come really higher, and especially if you get a setup after that. So you break that top. Now it didn't flag, but it made a running flat right there, breaking that top, so that means you're going up, right? If it doesn't make that, then you're dropping. That's just something I wanted to tell. Now this one, I'll go on the 4 hour. Alright, interesting one, super interesting one. I hope this is an A move, so this can be a B wave, this can drop and make a C wave, and this can pump. I'm expecting this actually. Now there's a chance where this correction is done and this will straight up break the top. So this one, we're in a zone where it's interesting, alright, to look for buys. Definitely you look for buys on this setup, especially if it does something like this. Perfect opportunity to take the buy. So I'll be looking at this in the smaller time frame midterm. Now in the bigger time frame, I want this correction to be completed, then take a trade. So there was the best moment to buy, right? But if you complete this correction, it will be another opportunity to buy. So definitely looking for this correction, but not as an investment in the long term. This one, Lido did break the top, which is a good news. Actually, this is not a good news. This could be a good news, but this completes a potential regular flat for downside. So I want to see a range from that point that will tell us that we're going up. So if this move comes from the bottom, this can all be a correction that is done, and this can straight up come and break the top. So I'm looking forward for this. This is kind of good project. The best moment was right there to invest in. Now it's a bit late, but if you get a setup, it's doable. XLM looks okay. This one right there looks fine, or you're still in a downtrend, so be careful of that. But this is something that you can try out to come and retest the top. So definitely you can try this one out. I think you're in the right zone to invest in if the project is doing well. And for this one, you're looking for the B wave also. So something going slowly like this before having a drop, and you get it, same structure. So let me just pass the thing I copied. I'll go in the weekly time frame, and I didn't see this move, but it remains the same. It can break this top this time, come back down and make this huge regular flat. So let me do that, or can simply retest the bottom, alright, and then come back down. So come there, retest the bottom, and then come back up to break the top. Both are possible. Now we need to take a look, alright, at the smaller time frame if you want to take the trade. But in the bigger time frame spot trading, you can DCA in this zone. It's perfect to accumulate and then try to ride this up move, which should be looking something like this, you know, with an up move. So great one. HBAR, this one right there is not looking quite good. I mean, this could be a running flat, which is bad, right? If that's a running flat, you'll see it, and it's quite clean, so it can really be a running flat. Now if you break the top, it will be perfect to start the B wave. So if it does something like this B wave, you automatically think about the B wave, and it should be something like this. So this before going up. So I will be looking at HBAR as a potential B wave that is starting, but we need to break that top for that. So the best moment to accumulate is where you see structure like this. Again guys, this is the best moment to accumulate. So you see right there, and this was a perfect regular flat, for example, I think. Let me zoom in, or maybe it was a contracting, but yeah, again, perfect moment to accumulate where you see the range coming down like this. Now it can be a running flat, but if that's a running flat, it will be the best moment to accumulate when you see something like this again. So something like this right there, right there, right there, right there. All right, so Philu, it's actually it's Phil, I think it's Phil, but yeah, this one is pretty bad. All right, I mean pretty bad. It's pretty good to buy if the project is good, all right, but you will be aiming for a B wave at max, something that comes slowly up and then come back down. I don't think we're gonna retest all-time high at any time soon, but at least a B wave, all right, especially after completing this running flat. Yeah, you have a running flat definitely somewhere right there, breaking down, then going for that B wave. And if it does break this top right there, then you're going for the B wave straight away. So it's okay for a B wave, but I don't think, seeing how these impulsive move came down like this or up like this pretty quick, that means that you're not going to aim for that top, because you don't have a correction that is done. You want this to be at least looking like a correction if you want to expect this coming and retesting the top. But if not, it's way it's not going to be a correction, it's not going up. Sorry, this right there looks good. This is near, so all right, this one could start the B wave, then come back down, then go up. All right, you could be starting the B wave, and again, all right, that's what I'm talking about. So you could be somewhere, I'll put it one above the others. All right, you could be right there, somewhere right there, starting this B wave, all right, and then having your drop later on and then going up. So it's a trade that you can be taking, but it doesn't look that good in terms of structure the whole piece, so you won't be expecting this to come and retest the top straight up, but at least the B wave is fair enough. So something like this, a correction that will come and then go back down. So aim for that correction. I think there is potential setup right there. It's a good opportunity, this one, especially if you make another new low. It's a good opportunity to take the buy. So definitely a one that kind of look good. Let me see Ape, this one. Alright, so this one, there's a potential running right there. I do think this will come back down unless you break that top and you flag. This is going back down, so I think you should be waiting for this to come back down and aim for that drop. When it breaks the low, it's a good opportunity to start taking buys, because you're losing in momentum. You see, it starts crawling, then it's a good opportunity to take buy. So anytime price around this zone is a good moment to buy. So Ape looking kinda good, and this one, which is doing a running flat at the moment, I think. Yep, this one is clean also. If it comes back down, that's a flag for a running flat in the smaller time frame to retest the top. So perfect for the smaller time frame. Now in the bigger time frame, you broke that top, so it's not possible to have a running flat, and you give a correction. So that's exactly, guys, what I've been saying in all the video, for when does the running flat or the regular flat doesn't has less probability to happen and is invalidate, is where you get this. So you break the top and you get a correction. So exactly what we happening right there. You broke that top, and you gave a correction, that means that this is going way higher. Now at this point this should come and give a correction, a bigger one, to this whole drop. That's why I'm expecting something like this, for example. Alright, it's not perfect, it's not exactly what will happen, but at least the start of a range right there. So the start of the impulse, the first step of a range, which should probably be an ABC correction before a drop. So you get it? This will probably go up at this point. So that's about it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. So quick summary to tell you which one are the one that looks the cleanest. Bitcoin, Ethereum in the smaller time frame, it's nice. You're riding that B wave, so every buy setup is good to take. For the mid long term, there is not that good to hold them. I mean, you can, but you cannot expect big profits out of it. Maybe 50%, 2x at max for Bitcoin, not Ethereum. But yeah, no, I mean, both are already gone, so 50% maybe at best before having the other drops. So the best clean one for the midterm and spot trading, BNB. This one, if that's a regular flat, it's perfect. It will retest the top soon. So I would not be surprised if I see this, for example, alright? But I will be surprised if I see this. You get it? So I'll tell you which one are the best. BNB, XRP is fine. XRP is okay, alright, even though this right there can happen, I think it's fine. ADA, not that good. Matic is fine to retest the top. Matic is good, but not to jump in right there. So if you have some Matic, let it go, but hopping in this trade is risky. So not Matic actually, but Matic is good to go and break the top, but actually not good to invest in right now. DOGE, I like DOGE BNB for now. Sol, alright, so Sol, DOGE, BNB are good. DOT is not that great, but kinda, I mean, it's okay, but not the best one. Litecoin for long term, perfect. I think that's the cleanest one. So Litecoin cleanest, BNB second, or maybe both. I'll make in the first place. DOGE and then Sol. SHIB, I'll pass. This one is fine, but not the best. So this one was okay. Uniswap in the short term is good. Alright, in the short term, breaking the top is good. I like that one. Not good. This one is good. This one is super good in the short term. Alright, breaking that top. I like this. Okay, this one is the one that be the more. It's even good in the spot trading because you know that you're breaking this top and it's almost 100% and has a lot of probability. So I'll say Ethereum Classic is one of the next. This one is already done. This, I don't really like this one at the moment. This one also, if it completes the correction, Aptos is good to go. This one not that good. XLM also. So basically, guys, I would go, and this one is fine for the B wave, but kind of risky. So I'd go, guys, for BNB and Litecoin in the long term. It's perfect. Matic kind of risky, but the move is good. The structure is looking good. DOGE, Solana, and Crow for the B wave is looking good. In the short term, Ethereum Classic for that trade. So these are the one that looks the best. Uniswap also for that trade. But the others are, I think, a little bit slower. It won't go up as fast as the one I just pointed out. But either way, they all are going to make a B wave before having the C wave, and that B wave is looking upside. So anything you're investing in should be going up in the next months in those top 30 crypto coins. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and comment and share it to your friends, and see you in the next one, which should be the weekly analysis in 2 days. Yeah, so see you in the next time. Peace.